Thank you to Yala Kizukidi for this lecture. This was very interesting. So after this lecture, I'm very happy to announce the first performance of this day, as the artistic program in this performative conference is not an add-on, but really an integral part of the program, as we understood art as a tool of knowledge production as well. Let me quote Aimé Césaire: "Poetic knowledge is born in the great silence of scientific knowledge." So I'm happy to announce the poetry performance Opowu by Stefanie-Lahya Aukongo. Let me briefly introduce her. Lahya is a Black intersectional artist, author, poet, curator, multiplicator, singer, teamer, photographer, activist, whose art and work reflect her social realities and identities. The purpose of her art and activities is healing through transformative practices. Since 2014, Lahya curates and moderates the monthly spoken word event One World Poetry Night in Berlin. Her oeuvre is published in various books and zines. Lahya knows that the act of embodying joy and telling the story in their own words is freedom work. It's a way to hold space and take space. Her works touch upon privilege, decolonization, healing, individual and collective love and vulnerability. So welcome, Lahya. The stage is yours.
Hello everyone, good afternoon. I'm lucky and happy to be here. So I'm here with my poems, with my words, and I want to honor the ancestors who came so far, who brought me to this place, to give me a voice, to give me a story. And Opowu. Opowu means it's enough. In the language where my people are coming from, the Ovambo people from Namibia, and it's enough. It's enough to continue this way of living, continue this sphere of emotions and healing processes. And yes, here we are. Thank you for being here. One moment. Okay. Technical, is it okay that I made it like this? Okay, sorry. Okay, the first, before I start, because this is my first performance since over a year and live, and I just want to encourage you, because we are not at a Zoom meeting or anything like this, to, if you feel something, if you got the feeling, oh my goodness, I can rely on this, or I can rely, it's part of my experience, or I feel what you're talking, you can snap. And I want to know, can you snap? Can you snap, excuse me? Can you really snap? Don't forget it. So whenever you got the feeling to snap, it's a part of the spoken word tradition to snap, to give an emotion. Because what I'm doing here is something what it's important that you are here too. So that's why we are all in the story. Okay. Yeah. The first poem I would like to share with you is a poem it's a poem like a talk. It was a talk with my grandmother, and Mikulu is the name. Mikulu means grandmother in Oshivambo. So the poem's name is A Talk with My Grandmother. Shiveli, my lovely child, ovulinawa, ondilinawa Mikulu, I love you, my dear. I love you, grandmother. I love you so much. Tell me, do you have everything you need? Yes, Mikulu, but this world is very, 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 very soulless. Oh, Shili, I know. But I'm telling you something about hope. My dear Shiveli, my darling, love is possible everywhere, in an unconditional way. And sometimes souls can meet each other openly without any borders. Granny, grandmother, Mikulu, is it true? Because I'm so fearful. Please, my dear, in this world, it is not easy for us, but we are brave and we are strong. The truth remains the truth. Yesterday is the past, not more. The past is finished. And you are here. You stand here, right here. And you are a blessing of wisdom, love, and pride. Maybe they don't recognize you and recognize your pain. Maybe they do not understand yet, but these people will understand, and someday they will know and remember your story. They will remember your face. They will remember your pain. They will remember. Please, my dear, be patient. Be patient with them and yourself. Your knowledge needs to digest. It is an old one, thousands and thousands of years old. My beloved daughter of my daughter, your path is stony, but also more than beautiful. Walk this path. Rest a bit on benches. Please relax and honor the moment, honor the value of a moment. Do not let sorrow overwhelm you. Remember, the sun comes always, every morning. So do not be afraid of darkness. Mikulu, tell me. Sometimes I'm feeling so exhausted and alone. Me too. But imagine how troublesome this life of my mother and her mother and her mother was. In the future, I will traveling to our ancestors, and I'm with you. I will walk beside you, and I know how powerful, joyful, and strong you are. You are an Ovambo, my future me. Shiveli, take care of you. Mikulu, Ondiko Ole, I love you. Dapandula, Ondiko Ole Shiveli, I love you. Thank you, Mikulu. Laya, thank you. Thank you. English. The next piece I've got, I took with me is Old Love. It's a poem about the black wisdom, the old story we need to share. We can't forget each other. We can't forget. Old love. I remember my old love, the love that I had for my people. I remember the first eyesight, our first touch, before we walked to each other. My people, these are the days we need to reclaim. Old love is a new love. Our bones are gifted. Black inheritance. We are a living memory. We lost vintages through frost, I know, but never the soul we lived within. Fruits, dark, ripe, opulent. Memories of fruits. No hanging fruits. I remember my old love, the love that I had for my people. I remember my people from the future, long time ago. I recognize the distant land. Humanity, smell, transpiration from unpaid labor. I sense dignity, joy, and heightening. Grace is a color. Grace is colored in black. Grace is colored in black. Where are these old times? People, where are these old times? People, where are these old times? Thank you. The next poem I would like to share is Afro-Positivity. I voted a few months ago because I had this fear of who's talking about this margin? Who are the people in the margin? Why do we live in the margin? What does it mean? So, Afro-Positivity. Someone pushed me to live in the margin, not realizing this is the center of universe. I brighten up these spaces, pure and real. This is my status quo, pure and real, often muddy. I create myself in an oppressive world, renew myself every day. The lines where my future happen are long. The border too, a spectrum of radical practice. Remember, a spectrum of radical practice. Your center is a margin. You marginalized yourself by pushing me into the margin world out of dust. And now, blossoms and fruits are growing in black and other blossoms of color. I was growing in your desert of innocence cruelty. You know, you think there's no alternatives than your life, but we create different layers of identities, prism of radicality. This is creativity. This is sweetness and surviving. Someone pushed me to live in the margin, not realizing that this is the center of universe. We are the center of universe. Blackness is the center of universe. Thank you. Thank you. The next poem called Funeral of Hope. Our past, our old life is not buried, not yet. Divine healing ceremonies are disturbed, forbidden, neglected. We couldn't write rest in peace in the sand. We couldn't write rest in peace in the sand. Your wind is blowing our grief and mourn away. Your wind is blowing our grief and mourn away. No rest in peace for our people. Every time we cry to the moon, every time we speak up the truth, your wind is blowing our grief and mourn away. There are fruits on trees, as surviving in a system, and fire in cells, and we broadcasted shows like Dear People, and fears and fear on smile. Lovely coated brutality under the carpet, behind kitchen doors, behind the curtain. Privileged fists beside us. For what reason? It feels like you want to be safe, be on the good side. There's no good side. We are all lost in this life you created. No? Your foreparents did it? That's what you mean? Community healing is radical community work, no self-care work, in a way to optimize yourself. If I love myself, I can love others, I know. But the truth, what about the work and the responsibility for all our people? When do you start with the work we have to do? Enjoy your Zen life. Find your you, but not next to my surviving, okay? Sorry for losing my Zen mode in times of agony. You're telling me things about our healing processes, and a lot of our people feel lonely. The truth is, most of your life is aching my soul. I listen to my people. I see them here and there and far, far, far away. I recognize unlived lives everywhere full of pride and love. Your wind is blowing our grief and mourn away. Our protest is a survival kit. A survival kit out of love and despair and humility. Our people's hope and joy, our people's fear and anger is real, is here. Warm blood, cold blood, warm blood, cold blood. Your grief is mourn our fear, and your wind is blowing our fear and mourn away. Cold blood, warm blood. Your fear is blowing all ourselves away. Cold blood, warm blood. And I ask you, what about your love for my people? Where's the love for our people? So many people buried in the funeral of hope. Thank you. Sorry, I have to show this one. Okay, the next poem I wrote because I want to talk about gender with you as well. It's part of the main topic we need to talk when we talk about blackness as well. So, L for Lahya and B for black. My gender is not what you assign. I don't go by they. I don't go by he. Sometimes, if I want to, I prefer she. Because I had to fight too hard to find my femme in me. My pronoun is black. My pronoun is Lahya. My fat body was never cis-female enough because my blackness has never been binary. My brown skin, my dark skin me was never ever protected under the umbrella of womanhood. Your femme and my femme is different. My femme is not your femme. My disabled body, my crib wasn't sheesh for your people. For you, I'm living on my own spectrum. Defining myself. 500 years ago, you made your choice. 500 years ago, I had to make my first coming out as a Lahya, as interdependent. Since 500 of years, I'm transitioning. Can you imagine this? I'm transitioning since 500 of years. So, I go by Lahya and sometimes by she. Thank you. Thank you. Sometimes I'm very angry, so then I wrote poems like this. What life is this? You did not kill me. Not yet. But this system of oppression is killing my soul, my body slowly. It slings through every little gap of my life, of our lives. I am not dead. I am not dead. Not yet. But what life is this? What life is this if I cannot be the person I want to be? If I cannot be a beautiful queen or king or queens as God and Goddess made me for? if I have to stay constantly on the side of the line where you say I belong to? What life is this if your words are always louder than mine? Your words like, all tomatoes matters, or I'm not a racist, or I know about my privileges. I reflect them always when I'm at home in my bed, under my kilt, in the dark, alone, deep in my mind. But you know what? There are things I don't want to change. I continue my life anyway. Or even more worse. I'm more than my identities. I'm also human. With every word you're telling me this, you don't want to see these lines of privileges. What life is this? If I cannot wear my hair as I want to wear it at school, in the university, at work, in the theater, or wherever I want to wear it. If my love and my fat is beautiful and the body full of scars and wounds and limitations are not perfect in this world. If you're tired of my tremendous noise because I'm disturbing you in your warm, free, cozy zone. If I cannot talk about this persecuting system, about these wounded and beautiful parts which I have to lift up every day, every morning, every time. My blackness, my femme, my disability, my queerness, my desire, my body nonconformity, my fatness, my trauma, my 1,670 emotions. My big-hearted soul, my womanism, my intersectionality, my me. What life is this? What life is this if I cannot use words to emote my experiences and the only defensive answer is that I'm a radical, not zen enough, angry black woman? You try to silence me. Like hundreds and hundred years ago. But my ancestors and my siblings, now and then and here and there, don't allow me to stay calm. So I'm asking you, what is your contribution in life? What is your contribution in life? Are you dismantling this fearful oppression only on panel discussion as a spectator in books or on social media? Do you rebuild your white privileges in concrete situations? Even when it's hurting you, taking something of your time, your money, your status quo, your fun? Do you rebuild? Yes, you do? Okay, question. Which people do you desire and love? If you get the job, who wasn't able to work in this position? Who are your friends for real? Which places do you travel with your passport, or are you also fleeing? Who gets all the claps and the fame and the glory in your communities? What is your daily struggle in your social positioning? What do you do with your money from your earning? So, how much money do you put in a donation box? €2, 4, 8? Can you hide intersections of yourself? Can you hide yourself? Can you? Are you protecting my siblings? Are you protecting me? Are you protecting my siblings? Or are you outlawing, ignoring, profiling, splaining, stalking, talking, fearing, shooting, beating, terrorizing, assuming, hurting, blaming, silencing, gazing, slating, abusing, disrespecting our souls? And I'm dying. Hundreds of deaths every single day. I'm dying. People, I'm dying. My people are dying. You are telling me this is a state of equality and fairness. We are all born naked. Mm-hmm. Everybody has to fight their own fights. Mm-hmm. You need to work harder, Lahya. Be more polite, more ambitious. Mm-hmm. Should I pay for this tremendous oppression you are experiencing? This is not fair, Lahya. You are telling me this is a state of fairness. You want equality, I want justice. Fairness. Who's the jury and who is the judge? And who's defending whom? Who holds accountability for this and this and that and this and who? Are you the witness of my death? Are you the witness of my death? So tell me why I am alive. Thank you. Thank you. The last poem I would like to share with you is a black poem of color, and it goes like this. No, before I want to finish, I want to say thank you very much for inviting me here, for being part of this wonderful day, and thanks for doing all the work you're doing. So, yeah, my last poem, a black poem of color. In the storm of fear, I screamed out my letters of dust and anger. Too silent, too calm, too long. I was the oppressed hurricane blowing in my own atmosphere, desperately waiting for healing and change. My trauma is not individual. Doesn't stand for its own. My fear is political. It reflects the fear of society. It's a new dawn. It's a new day. It's a new life. Every year and every month, it's Black History Month. It's Black Consciousness Month. It's Black Future Month. And I am afraid a bit. I'm afraid, people, I'm afraid. I fear my people as much as I love them. I fear other communities as much as I love them. So here I am. You know how I feel. I'm here, floating deep inside, between your silence and your noise, between my rage and my love, my love. I cannot wait until our structures are dismantled, until you became ready to do your homework. And a quote says, one day or day one. Repeat with me, one day or day one. 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 Do you understand? Who's for day one? Who? It's a new day, it's a new dawn, it's a new life. Why? Why are you not outraged? Why? If you don't center minor experiences or dismantle your dominant narratives, if you bring your unreflected stories to my healing spaces and my healing circles, I'm not with you. I'm not with you anymore. You cannot love me if your love is not political. You cannot help me if your assistance is not political. You cannot chill with me if your work and work-life balance is not political. You cannot pray with me if your faith is not political. You cannot adore me if your state of mind on bodies and mental health is not political. I don't want to listen to your answers. If you don't understand my grief and my anger and my way of loving and living, if your critical points, your yoga classes, your holidays, your spiritual journeys, your expression of mourning and payments and financial costs, friendship and adoration are not political, you cannot love me if your soul is not in an intersectional mode. What should we talk about? What should we talk about then? So I'm asking you again. One day or day one? One day or day one? One day or it's a new dawn. It's a new life. It's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. Dankeschön. Thank you so much.